Hey everyone, and welcome back to another modix video. So earlier this week, I released this community poll asking you guys to submit your questions that you have about Killjoy. So today, I'm going to be answering all of them, and hopefully you guys are able to learn how to use Killjoy better because there are some great questions in here that we can really give some good answers to. So starting off, we have French Sheba. They said, how the hell do you use her ultimate correctly? I always feel like I'm not using it right. And you're probably not using it right. That is completely right. You probably are placing it in the wrong spots, and that's why it feels like this. You're still using it though, and it can still be helpful. So with the ultimate, there are certain spots where you're going to want to plant this. I already made this video, and that's going to be on the end screen at the very end of this video, along with all of our other Killjoy guides. So stay tuned for those. But the reason why I chose these spots is because they should always hit somebody, and it doesn't allow other players to kill the ultimate. I feel like the ultimate can be used two ways. You have your offensive ways and your defensive ways. So on defense, the main way is going to be just to plant it so that people clear off of a site. They're not able to plant, they're not able to contest, and hopefully you get a few free kills in order to pick up the number advantage that helps to lead you to win that round. So that's what I would try to do defensively. Either time's ticking down and you just place that thing so that they're not able to push on the site, or you're looking to get easy kills at the very beginning. I would recommend using the ultimate onto a site that they keep on pushing if your defense is lacking. So right when you feel that pressure coming to B site, let's say that you guys have been giving up B site a ton, like for the past 4 rounds, they try to push it again, just go ahead and pop that ultimate, and that's going to delay them from pushing onto that site. Attacking wise, we need to go ahead and plant it so that we can get a free plant. We want to drive them off of the site again just to give us a free plant so that we can use our utility post plant instead. So as long as you're using that in those ways, I feel like it's a good, useful ultimate. On defense, it's very easy to have a useful ultimate because even if you ult a site, it makes sure that they're not able to push, and it takes time off the clock, which is huge with the ultimate. So that's the first question. Now moving on to French Sheba's second question, what tier is Killjoy? A, B, C, D, E, or wait, no, there wasn't an E. A, B, C, E, or F? She's going to be A tier. So the reason why I think that she is A tier is because she's one of the best offensive agents in Valorant right now. And then the second part of the question was, is she going to change the meta? Yes, she's changing the meta as we speak. We are turning into the meta where we're going triple sentinel. This means that you're going to have a Cypher, a Sage, and a Killjoy on your team, and then you'll probably have at least like a duelist and then one controller with smokes. I think that one of the best team comps that will happen is going to be the Sage, Cypher, Killjoy. I want to put Viper in there and probably a duelist. Maybe Raze. I think Raze is probably the best, but then you could also like add a good Phoenix in there so that they're able to self-heal, and that's going to be pretty crazy. I don't know the last two, but I know that we're moving into the triple sentinel comp. So yes, she's going to change the meta. She's one of the best defensive agents, and with the triple sentinel comp, if you're able to just pick up a few kills on offense or like a few round wins on offense, then you're probably going to win that game because you can easily hold players off of the site. For example, on Haven, you can have one sentinel on every single site to slow them down and allow your team to rotate super fast. So that's my answers to you, French Sheba. Now let's move on to Minior's question. Hello, just want to ask on what is the best timing for using her ultimate offense and defense? This is a great question. On defense, I would try to save that ultimate for when the clock's like ticking down, like I said earlier in the video, because we can basically delay them from getting that spike planted at all. Try not to use it in the first few seconds unless the team always pushes super fast, because sometimes players will just sit back for the first 30 seconds, let the play or rounds generate. I'm missing the word. I don't know what it is right now, but they just want to wait and see what's going to happen in the round. If you're going to play attackingly on defense, then they're just going to come and counter you and then push on a site. But I would personally wait to the very end, or if they already have the spike planted, that's when I would use it. Just make sure that all your teammates are ready. So use your comms and ask them. But yeah, that's for defense. On offense, I would probably use it at the very start of the round. I think that it's going to allow you to not have anybody get picked off beforehand. Just push in with all your teammates, try to get those kills, and again, place them in the right spot. That's the biggest thing with the ultimate, and we have that video for you guys. Coyote the Wrath commented, if you place Killjoy's Nanoswarm on top of a Sage wall, then the Sage disappear, will the Nanoswarm float? This is not really something you would want to use on a game, but I still want to know. And we tested this in a custom match, and it might actually be a useful strat to use in your next game, because on Ascent, there is the ramp. I know Bind also has a ramp that you can probably do this with, and you can go ahead and place that Sage wall. It does waste the Sage wall, which is why I don't really know if this strat's useful, but you can place it and then throw that Nanoswarm grenade on top of it, and it will float after it gets destroyed. So just keep in mind that underneath the Nanoswarm area, you will not take damage. So until players cross the line where they're above it or touching it, then they won't be taking damage. But if not, yes, it will float. And so good question. Now, Prinnin Gaming says, does Killjoy Nanoswarm do more damage than other mollies such as Brim, Phoenix, and Viper? Simple answer, yes, it does. It's one of the fastest mollies in the game, but it lasts a very short time. French Sheba also commented, what agents complement her playstyle? I already pointed this out, but Cypher and Sage will always complement her playstyle because we're moving into that triple Sentinel comp. And then again, I mean, I guess a duelist would really complement her because they're able to get the kills and peek off of the utility, but we don't know what those last two spots are going to be just yet. I will let you guys know if this ever changed. Nemo TJX, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. Will Killjoy heavily get nerfed? I don't believe so. I think that Killjoy's in a great spot right now in the game. She's very defensive minded, and you just have to learn to play off of her utility. I know a ton of players might say that she's overpowered, but I just don't think that they've learned how to counter her. And I'm going to be releasing that video tomorrow, so stay tuned. We're going to be talking about how to play against a Killjoy, how you should attack against her, how you should counter all of those utilities, so stay tuned for that. But I do not believe that Killjoy will receive a nerf. Divine Gaming commented, is Killjoy better for attack or defense? And before we get into that, I just want to say, if you guys haven't already, go check out Divine Gaming, because that might kind of be my other channel where we're posting Hyperscape content. Basically any game, it's not just like one structured game, but Miles also runs that with me, and he went ahead and commented this. So is Killjoy better for attack or defense? I'm going to say defense, because she is a defensive minded agent, and even though she is one, she's still really good on attack, and players don't really know that. And I released that video as well, bro. We have every single video and question you might be asking in a video, so be sure to check that playlist at the end on the end screen. So yeah, my choice is defense, but if you can learn to attack with her, she's still amazing. Nicholas Chen said, what's the range on the Nanoswarm activation? And with her Nanoswarm, you're able to place it anywhere on the map, and then you're also able to activate it anywhere on the map. You just have to be looking at it, and then you just press F to activate, or your interact key. And then he also said, how do you use her utility on offense? I would recommend using the Nanoswarm to go ahead and flush sites or commonly held areas. So you learn the lineups from like a lobby to chuck it, and then you're hoping it to land and clear off like commonly held areas. So for example, let's stay on Ascent. Behind Canoe is a very commonly held area at some ranks. So you can go ahead and learn a lineup, throw it there, activate it. They're going to be flushed out or flushed on the site, and then you should be able to pick up the kill. But that's how you're going to use that utility on offense. But then you also have the alarm bot and turret, which you should be either saving for post plant or using to watch your flanks. So now our next question is another one from Divine Gaming, and in it they said, is Killjoy better than Cypher? And only time will tell for this question. I believe, yes, she's better, but players just have not fully mastered her yet. I mean, keep in mind, it's been around 2 weeks since she's been released, and Cypher has been out for around 4 months if we count beta. So I would say that she's better. Players just don't know how to use her. They both have similar problems where players don't know how to attack with them. So I think that Killjoy stands a bit more dominant in the attacking area because she has Nanoswarm Grenade, and then also the turret, which will deal damage to other enemies, where Cypher doesn't really have that. He has his cam, he has his tripwires, and then he also has his cage, which don't really help. I mean, the cages can sometimes block enemy vision, but I don't think that he's better attacking wise. I think that they're pretty much the same on defense. So that's why I'm going to give Killjoy the better agent role for right now. It could change in the future though. So now our last question for today's video is coming from Royen Sanchez. Sorry if I mispronounced the name. But he said, what do you buy during pistol rounds and eco rounds? And this is going to fully depend on if you're attacking or if you're defending. Starting with attack, I think that what you should do is focus on mainly buying a weapon and armor if you're able to. So like buy the ghost and then maybe save so that you can buy armor the next round. But it just depends on how you would normally like work pistol rounds. Try to play it the same way, and then if you have any leftover credits, maybe purchase a Nanoswarm grenade, because on pistol rounds we don't really need to watch the flank because it doesn't matter if you lose these. You're just trying to get as many kills as possible, and hopefully you win that first round. But I mean, if you don't win, it's not the biggest deal. You can still come back in that eco round, but I would not buy all your utility like I would with defense, which on defense I purchase all my utility and then purchase weapons accordingly. If you win the first pistol round, then you're able to upgrade weapons, but if you lose the first one, then you have to save completely on the next eco round. Eco rounds for attack, you'd play it similar to how you normally attack. Like I said, we have videos on the the end screens. On the end screens right about now, it should be showing up because we're wrapping up this video. Thank you so much for watching all the way through, and if it did help you out, then just let me know in the comments, and I'm still gonna leave that community post up for you guys to ask even more questions. I might be making another video like this in the future. I really hope that you did enjoy this video, and if you did, be sure to like and subscribe with notifications on because we're posting daily Valorant content. That's gonna be all for me today, and I'll see you all in the next one.